You are now watching the Black Man Spy U.S.-Iran Warcast. I forgot what I named it today because it changes every day, and things are so crazy. I can't keep track of nothing. This is day 119 in the war with Iran. Technically, even though they signed an MOU claiming an end to hostilities, the war's not over. And I can tell you why. Because we keep threatening Iran every day, which is a violation of the Memorandum of Understanding. And as long as we keep violating the Memorandum of Understanding, the Iranians are not acknowledging that the MOU is actually in force, except that they keep getting their money. All right, they're getting their money. They're getting it big. So let me introduce you to our co-host, if you haven't been watching the last 119 days. Jacob Carsbo, Danish intelligence officer extraordinaire, sporting the Canada cap. Jacob, why are you sporting a Canada cap?
For the first time ever, Canada can progress at the World Cup tonight. They've not won a game ever before. They've not even scored a goal ever before. But now they actually stand to progress against the Swiss. So I thought I'd wear this just to honor our mutual friend, Dean Blundell.
Oh, okay.
He should be super excited up there at Toronto.
We have so many stories we could tell about Dean Blundell because we lived together with him. We lived together with him in the Chalet of Spies in Nook, Greenland. And he's a character.
Is Dean also a Canadian spy?
No, he was the guest spy. Well, we were all there, but he's a hoot. Time spent with Dean Blundell is interesting. Let's just put it that way. Right. Okay. Well,
he didn't appreciate my halibut in the morning. I always had smoked halibut for breakfast.
Right, he had smoked
Dean couldn't take that.
But it was delicious. It was really good. I mean, this is the guy who needs to get out more. I mean, he is, he comes from the wilds of Toronto, right? So he was out there in Toronto. He was a radio show host. Now he's with the national, what do you call it? Save America movement, running that program. And his show is hilarious. And let me tell you, everybody I know reads his stuff on Substack. He doesn't have the largest following, but it's a devoted ass following. Let me tell you right now. No, actually, I think he does have a large following. But while we're doing that, next we have Wajeeh, the gay lion, coming up from Minneapolis, Minnesota, which puts us across at least 10 time zones. We talk about from Central European time all the way over to American Midwest time, or whatever you call it, Central time. Wajeeh, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you. I have achieved another milestone on Substack. I have a full orange circle now. So I'm feeling good about that. I think you guys also need to support Jacob so he can have a full orange circle to join the club as well. Thank you.
Oh, you mean the orange check? I'm seeing it now. It's the orange check.
Okay. What does that mean? I don't even know.
I didn't know what he said. That means you have X number of subscribers that are paid subscribers. But that's awesome. I'm glad people are putting in and supporting this effort because, as you know, like most people who are on Substack that were big ticket items like me, this is our job now. This is what we do. We only are sustained in this show by your donations. So if you would be so kind as to subscribe to Jacob, Wajeeh, and myself, what is that, like $15 for the whole month between the three of us? You're gonna get a lot more out of that. That being said, right now for administrative purposes, and if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to YouTube. I am still trying to get to 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. We had a big drop off at the end of the war on Substack. I'm down to 93,000 or something. So we have to get 7,000 more subscribers to break the 100,000 barrier on Substack. That changes the algorithm, which means that it pushes things left and right. So follow Jacob, follow Wajeeh, and I know you're following me because you couldn't be on here if you weren't following. And if you aren't, and you're cheating, Follow me anyway. So that would be fun. It's funny because now I sound like that Pete Hegseth character from South Park, right? Right? Follow, like, and subscribe. Stop creating content. And do something about Iran. Okay, Mr. President, but I'm gonna need guns and planes and dudes.
I swear to God, the people that Trump hired, they're more interested in making TikTok contents than they're interested in serving this country.
Yes, I know. I'm now putting up today's Iran Warcast question and answer chat. So please feel free to come on that. And I know we've had some controversial questions. But as you see, I am not afraid to engage, especially when people have things that are held very, very close to their heart. I'll tell you exactly what I think, because as you know, I am not a paid Hasbara agent of the Israeli state. That's what people can. I still got people coming back to me about that Wajeeh Ali statement that he made last week on Joy Reid's show. Joy Reid came to the funeral of my wife. All right, Joy Reid was there in her last hours. She is a deep, deep close friend as far as I'm concerned. And it's like, why would you go up and say something stupid like that? You know, or why don't you show me them pay slips? Because apparently direct deposit is not working. You know, the only place I make any money, at all is I'm sustained by the subscribers here on Substack. That's it. Don't work for MSNBC. Don't work for, the Russians. If I worked for the Russians, I'd be getting 100,000 an episode or a month, right?
Oh,
like that. What was that guy? What's that?
Oh, Hezbollah.
Hezbollah.
Or Hezbollah. Oh, well, I could be like that. Who's that idiot that always supports every group against America? White guy. Right?
That white guy
was
on
the guy that paid 100,000 by the Russians. Thanks.
What is his name? Aaron? Was it Aaron?
I forget about him because he's such an idiot. He supported Russia, supported Hezbollah, supported Hamas. He's a white guy, right? Somebody says speak directly to Wajeeh Ali.
He went to the funeral of Nasrallah.
Really?
What the fuck?
He literally went to Nasrallah.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
And Hassan Nasrallah's team literally had them in the VIP section.
Hey, hold on. Quick question. Derek M. says, I got to grow this beard out. Brother, what you think I'm doing? It's only been 6 days. I mean, give me a break. So, what is that? Malcolm is an agent, a Hollywood agent. I actually have an agent. I have a literary agent. So, that's a good one. It's difficult to follow the live chat and also answer questions. You're right. It is. It's very difficult to follow the live chat.
I found his name.
It's very hard for me. What's that?
Jackson
Hinkle. That idiot, Jackson Hinkle. Jackson Hinkle, that guy.
This is him at Hassan Nasrallah's funeral.
Only white guys can get away with this. I'm sorry. There isn't an African American on this planet that could go to that thing and be allowed back into the United States, people. Jackson Hinkle. And he gets to come back. He was in Russia. He went out he supposedly did the same thing the Tates did, right? With machine guns and everything. Okay, well, small talk aside, we reached our 1,000 followers. I have my Kajlushwak coffee mug from Greenland. And if you don't know where it is, you can follow the latitude, longitude. It is above the Arctic Circle. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. The Russell Glacier is there. And it from Kajlushwak all the way to the North Pole, it's ice. Okay, it's ice. Yep. All right. So
I've got the DIA.
Wajeeh, can you buff us up on the price of oil this morning?
Yes, I got you. I already have it pulled up.
Still going down. I see some little red numbers.
Yes, it is
looks
going
like
down.
Brent North Sea crude is at 74.23, down some cents, some pennies. I don't see WTI and might need to scroll it down. But the point is, oil is still falling. And the price of oil in the United States is falling rapidly. And I'm going to tell you something. We're going to find this out.
$70.
We're going to find this out in about 6 months from what's her name, Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan, since they don't seem particularly motivated to tell us anything that's happening in real time. But Trump is pressuring the oil companies to drop the prices. And this is not following the price of barrels. This is following the oil companies. Gas is down. I was in New Jersey yesterday. It is down to $3.76. Then within 24 hours, when I came back, it was down to $3.67. It's always cheaper in New Jersey because they have all these major refineries right there. So oil is pretty cheap. Here in New York, it's still at $4.06 a gallon, but that's down from the high of $4.85 that we were paying a month ago. So yay, oil prices going down. Here's the kick. We keep talking about this. Keep talking about it. And Teresa Sylvia, yes, I got the information from Montel Williams. Thank you. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. Okay, oil is not flowing as fast as it should be, right? Somebody said they paid $5.55 a gallon yesterday. Yeah, he lives in Hollywood or something. Wow. So oil, that threat of the U.S. economy collapsing is still on the table because Trump keeps talking stupid shit. And within the context of the negotiations for the MOU, the United States, what's this? Somebody says Substack has him locked out, haven't been able to hook up with Jacob. Anyway, we'll talk about this.
Just a quick point on the oil price. I found out just before coming on here that the UAE is in fact exporting 85% of what it did back in February.
Ah, good. So they're going to pipe through the pipeline.
Yeah, through the pipeline, and apparently they have a big storage facility at Fujairah as well. So they managed to go up because if you look at the tankers exiting the strait, most of them are actually Iranian.
No, yeah, that's very true. Very, very true.
This is exactly what I told you guys would happen. Iran would get their priorities ships passed first, and then whatever comes next comes. But they have a priority of their ships passing, and then everyone goes through. There's hundreds and hundreds of ships out there. I interviewed Piotr last night, and he said that the UN said that they will start taking responsibility for clearing out the Strait of Hormuz, which is a good international effort rather than having the U.S. trying to figure it out because they're escalating.
Well, the Iranians won't allow U.S. warships to come into the SOE to clear mines, but I'm pretty sure they're going to allow this European task force to come down. And the Emirates has 2 minesweepers that will probably find the mines by running into them. We shall see. That being said, let's talk about the big...
Malcolm is talking from experience, y'all.
Why? Who says that?
No, I'm saying...
striking mines? By hitting mines? Yeah. Yeah, I got experience. I hit a mine. It was unpleasant. You know what it's like? It was like if you guys are ever on a bus, like a city bus, and you're like half dozed off, because I was asleep. It was 4 a.m. And a giant city bus, when it hits a massive pothole, and the whole bus shakes, and the windows shake, and it goes, that was what it was like. I could feel the entire front of the ship come up in the air. And I was like, oh, that's not good. That's pretty bad. So it was all right. So let's talk about the Memorandum of Understanding. There are a lot of misunderstandings about the Memorandum of Understanding, principally because Donald Trump keeps opening his mouth. and stating there are things happening in the MOU that are apparently not in the MOU. So Trump came out yesterday, definitively said the Iranians have agreed that they will allow UN weapons inspectors into Iran exactly like during the JCPOA, that the IAEA will be on the ground with the United States. And that's another thing that's sort of weird, right? I'm going to get the video because I have Marco Rubio's statement, but the Iranians immediately came back and were like, "The fuck are you talking about? We never said that. We are not allowing we are not allowing weapons inspectors into the country. We've never agreed to that. We never said that." And I want you to put a pin in that because we have two separate components of what's happening here. And now there is a statement that was made by Iran today on Faris News that sort of is hinting that many of these misconceptions about what they want and what they will do are coming from Pakistan. Now, early on, I want to point this out. This is where real geopolitics comes into play, right? Early on, Trump was saying crazy things during the war about how Iran was coming to him, right? And that Iran was coming to him and begging the United States and calling him up
for a deal. They're desperate
for a deal. And don't forget the most crazy statement was when he said, there's Iranians in that country that they have sent me a gift. Do you remember that? I can find the video if you guys want to see it. They have sent me a gift. I can't tell you what the gift is, but it's very significant and it's very expensive. Then about 2 weeks later, he comes back and he goes, I can tell you what the gift is. It's 8 oil tankers full of oil, where we immediately went down with the price of oil at that time, which was over $110 a barrel. And we were like, that's almost a $2 billion windfall. And exactly how's that oil getting out of Iran, right? And then, of course, that story disappeared. I mean, the man, let's just put it on the table. We all know this. Donald Trump is a pathological liar. He is a pathological liar. He will make up any story at any time to impress his buddies. These are like bullshit golf stories, right? When you're on the golf links and you're talking about how, Angelina Jolie called you up and was begging you to, send Melania on a trip somewhere so that she could, sees that you're such a man that, she has to have you. And you're way better looking than Brad Pitt. And he's sitting there teeing up his golf ball while he's telling this story, right? This is not talking smack, Lorraine. This is not talking smack. I'm going to tell you guys something that bugged me ever since he did his whole, grab him by the P word thing. Men don't talk like that. We know when a motherfucker's lying. We know when a guy is lying to us. And if you tolerate that, then you're just as much as full of shit as he is. And this guy is telling crazy stories. What you have here is the ultimate privilege of a billionaire white guy. You can say anything. You can do anything. You can lie with absolute, open, utter impunity. But because you have money and there are people around you that want that money or access to that money, they'll tolerate anything you say and do, right? Like give Hitler salutes. It's not like we haven't seen the world's richest man give 2 Hitler salutes, Heil Hitlers, and literally have Jonathan Greenblatt from the Anti-Defamation League come out and say, oh no, he was just showing love. Sieg love. Sieg love. I mean, that's crazy. The man was giving a Nazi salute, and it had been re-platformed every Nazi that was banned on Twitter, right? Remember all that? This is the sign of what a rich guy can do. Rich guys can do anything. And the reason I'm bringing all this full circle is Donald Trump lies like nobody's business. The most documented liar in American history. So that little story of they're giving me 8 oil tankers, and then he goes, no, it's not 8, it's 10. It's sad. Grandpa, this is the drive up at an Arby's. Okay? Why are you telling us this story? Because this story now has a new factor to it. Faris News, who it's sad that I actually find Iranian news services more factually accurate than the White House, because the Iranians have figured it out. They have more credibility by allowing Trump to lie and just telling the truth.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
Basically.
Yes,
but we've talked about this over and over again. How they're more reliable sources than whatever's coming out of the Trump administration. So it is really crazy. The world upside down.
It is, but this is it's almost like it's almost like out of nowhere. I don't even want to use any more World War II analogies. Like Pravda was always telling the truth, right? And I find it funny that Trump's Truth Social literally translates to Pravda in Russian, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, Faris News, I'm just going to find this report. Faris News came out this morning and essentially claimed that Pakistan, from the beginning of these negotiations, have been overrepresenting what Iran has been saying. And I guess they reached a limit yesterday, right? And they put this statement out that Pakistan has been overrepresenting what they're saying, and that right now the only country that accurately represents us is Qatar. Whoops. Well,
you mean the prime minister of Qatar that was writing JD Vance document on a Qatari laptop while JD Vance was signing on his own personal
I heard you.
accounts.
Actually, I think that was a U.S. government laptop. He just had the Prime Minister of Qatar looking over his shoulder. Because for that card that they showed in there, which wasn't his, it was one of his staffers. It's called a CAT card, right? A combined access card. It's the U.S. government classified. It's every ID card. I have a CAT card, a retiree's CAT card. But to put that in there and let this guy look over your shoulder at everything you're doing, he's been read into top secret SCI, highest level of government communications, highest level, presidential level communications. Oh, by the way, Nancy, no, her career's not over. She works for the White House. I don't know if you heard from Jonathan Swan and Maggie Haberman in their latest book, Regime Change. Donald Trump multiple times said he intends to pardon anyone that came within 200, 250, and 300 feet of the Oval Office. That's what he told them. And Maggie Haberman just this morning said, every time we talk to him, he changed the distance, right? Trump is a criminal that is going to allow criminals to go to jail, to go free. So it's a serious of that. Unless he suddenly dies, these people are all going to walk. These people are going to commit crimes, and they're going to get away with it. Like, put your fucking CAT card out in front of these things.
But just on the IAEA track there, Malcolm, it's really quite simple for everyone to understand, because the Iranians have just come out and say what we already know from the MOU, and that is there's nothing about inspections of Iranian nuclear sites in the MOU. So end of business. We all know that. And Trump is just saying, just lying,
Well, the thing is, it's not about the MOU anymore. The MOU put the framework in for all of this to chillax, right? Put the framework in for the war to be over, and then to start this 60-day cycle of negotiations, which it took Obama 3 years to do with professional diplomats. Now they're doing it with 2 real estate agents, and they think they can get it done in 60 days. And if if the MOU is any kind of an agreement, the United States will be shipping atomic bombs to Iran at the end of 60 days because we apparently give them everything that they want. And it's like, oh, you don't have atomic bombs here? We have some.
Yeah, Layla, we'll give you one.
So that we can demand that you disarm, right? I don't know. It's so stupid the way that Witkoff and Kushner are negotiating. It's not negotiating. They're giving shit up. Because I think those two are in it for themselves. Everything they've done thus far has been to enrich themselves in the Trump family and nothing else. So I'm trying to find this quote because this morning before Pezeshkian, the Iranian president, flew to Pakistan this morning, the Iranians put out this statement that Pakistan is overstating everything. And we want you to listen to the Qataris, not the Pakistanis. And you should listen to the Qataris because they got our wallet. So, by the way, also got a report this morning, $3 billion was handed over. Cash. Remember that report? Yeah. That the Emiratis flew $3 billion over 2 weeks ago? And everyone was like, no. Trump is like, nobody's been given any money. Iran has like 500 of those $100 bill counting machines going right now. Right? Or they went to Karbala. And Karbala souk was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. This is in Iraq. They have the money changers and the money counters of Karbala. And it is the most, those $100 bill machines, you put in, right, giant wads of it. In Karbala, they don't trust those machines. They have kids and men who have been counting $100 bills for centuries, right? Or whatever. Yeah. And these guys, they go like this. They wet their fingers. They take a wad of $100 bills. They flip it over and they go. And they can count as fast as the machine and come up with an accurate number. So one guy said to test me. So he hands the guy a stack and says, X number of dollars, right? And then he takes the stack, he puts it in the machine, but he doesn't let the counter see how much money's in it, right? He takes a $100 bill out. It's like $3,400 now, not $3,500. Hands it to the guy. The guy goes, it's short one. Yeah. I was like, damn, he was correct. Just as fast as a machine. So the Iranians they bought in like 500 of those guys. And the machines, they counting every dollar. Let it be $1 short. And $1 short, and then you will see them close the Strait of Hormuz, which, by the way, according to Iran, is still closed, except for ships carrying Iranian oil. But who is to be believed? Well, this morning, Pervez Musharraf, listen to me, Pervez Musharraf, I'm so behind. All right, Shehbaz Sharif, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, met the the President of Iran, and I'm going to show you a video because Pakistan flew him in, or didn't fly him in, escorted his last standing Iranian airplane into Pakistan this morning, right after that comment was made, don't believe Pakistan, believe Qatar. This leads to the question, of course, the entire time of this war, all of those bullshit promises to Trump came from Pakistan. Every lie, they weren't lies. They were like, if you go to the camel souk. I showed you yesterday what a camel looks like, right? It's a white, round paper container that holds coffee with the word camel written on the side. That's how Pakistan presents things, right? This is best camel, good camel, no problem camel. I will change. I know you think camel animal in brown carries people, right? This is how things happen over there. One side will half lie to bring you up an additional step. The other side will say, hey, man, you and I both know that's not a camel. That's a donkey with the word camel written on the side. And he goes, shh, no problem. I will make the sale. We have all seen the middleman over there. And I guess Iran sort of lost it with him. It was like, you're not the middleman. Qatar's the middleman now. Qatar brings the money. Qatar's delivered $24 billion in cash to us. That's a diss. But It explains where all of Trump's bullshit comes from, because Pakistan is only they're enticing Trump with a little bit of bullshit every time because he's a pathological liar. And the only way pathological liars will understand what you're doing is to lie to them a little bit. Just a half truth or a half lie, right? And then they will come along. But Trump takes every tiny bit of half truth. But I'm certain Sharif said, we will get the Iranians to agree to nuclear inspections. Now you have a demented octogenarian who should be in a home, who has a history of Alzheimer's and dementia, coming out and going, they said all IAEA inspectors will be in there. I'm going to show you. Trump told Fox News with U.S. people on the ground will be inspecting every site we want. Where did he get this from?
The nuclear dust.
Oh, guys, help me. What do you think about this bullshit? Am I right? Is this, or am I seeing things?
No. But
No,
again, it was Trump himself that signed the MOU only 5 days ago at Versailles. So whatever. And they've launched this process. And I think these working groups, there's nothing in them yet. So I don't know whether it's him fantasizing. He also talks about missiles, Iranian missiles, which is also bullshit. And you saw the other day suddenly that claim that Iran should stop financing Hezbollah, etc. So, some of it is just coming out, of thin air.
I feel like on one hand, Trump is dealing with Alzheimer's, and on another hand, he's dealing with his Gemini personality.
Gemini?
Yeah.
Look, I've met people with multiple personality disorder, and they are far more coherent than Trump. He ain't even a Gemini. He goes many ways.
I just can't make sense of this guy, man. He comes out with two different stories every day. We are doing a regime change. We are at war. No, it's just what is it called? Skirmishes. Mother, is it a war? Is it a skirmish? Is it a regime change? Are you trying to dismantle the government? Are you asking for people to rise up, or are you asking for an MOU? You have no idea what's going on.
It's this
Persian execution.
I got this patch in like 1986. I got this in 1986. That's what we called it forever. Okay, Marco Rubio has deep thoughts about the Iranian weapons inspectors, which apparently is bugaboo of the day. Let's hear what what I was going to say, Mr. Lindsey Graham, Marco Rubio has to say about it. Whoopa. Oh, we go to the end. I hate it when this happens.
Rubio. Was it Masha?
That's that contradicting we know what they agreed to. I don't know why they have to say the things they say. Whatever their internal or domestic politics is, I guess they'll navigate it. But we know what they agreed to do, and now they either do it or they won't. And if they do, the process moves forward, and if they don't, they're going to have some decisions to make. Well, we have long-standing relationships and partnerships with the three countries I'm visiting. And we're here in the United Arab Emirates. I don't know of anyone we've been stronger with the United States over the last 6 months. They've been phenomenal. I mean, for a long time, but certainly over the last 6 months. So we have an ongoing partnership that has been building for over a decade now and continues to grow. So my sense is that we're going to continue on that path, obviously taking into account the new regional dynamics that are at play. But we're really here to hear from them more than we are to talk. We want to hear their thoughts, especially in the aftermath of this weekend in Switzerland, and make sure that their views are taken into account in every decision that we make, because they're our partner.
He's in Abu Dhabi. He's
What?
meeting with the United Arab Emirates.
Why does he sound like a high school counselor?
uh,
We're gonna sit down and hear what they have to say. Yeah, we're here to hear what you have to. We're here for you, not for me.
But he shrunk. Would you? You get JD in a paper right to have something.
Yeah, well, that's because Marco Rubio, and I read an interesting story about this. Marco Rubio is trying as Secretary of State and National Security Advisor, trying to stay as far away from this deal as possible. He recommended to the president that JD Vance lead the delegation. And, and of course, he wears Donald Trump's literal clown shoes that are 2 sizes too big for him. He actually wears them to the Oval Office like a fucking nut. Not joking. You guys, you've all have heard this story that Trump bought shoes, the same brand of shoes as for everyone on the cabinet. And he deliberately bought Marco Rubio's 2 sizes too big. And there's photographs of this. I'm not going to leave you hanging on that. All right.
He looks like a middle school child wearing his dad's shoes.
Dad's shoes. And for those of you who go, oh, this is bullshit, that's not how it looks. Well, he wears them every time he goes to the Oval Office because he knows Trump is mentally ill. These are the shoes. That's an actual photo from the press pool. That is not, and you can see, you could put 2 fingers down the back of that shoe down there, right? And he wears them. This is the level of sycophancy amongst these people. Madness. I swear to Jesus Christ. Madness. So, and there are multiple times he's been seen wearing those. They're calling them the clown shoes. And they are clown shoes. But Marco Rubio wants the job because Trump has been jerking them around, thinking he's going to back one or the other for presidency. And Trump's history is, and I learned this from.
Oh, Malcolm froze.
Yeah.
Is he coming back on?
Uh-oh.
Michael Cohen, when it worked up ritualistically. Well, I've lost audio.
We're back. You're back now. Nope. You're hanging.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You're cutting off. You're rubber banding a little bit.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh, this is crazy. All right. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We got me back now. All right. Yeah, we lost audio there for a little bit. Okay. The reason that I brought that up, Marco Rubio, is literally stabbing JD Vance in the back with that video. Right? Saying, well, this is what they agreed to. How do we know what they agreed to? He's saying, well, I'm believing JD Vance. Right? This is going to be the worst. All right. Well, if you guys would like to see an oil platform news. Wait.
I actually have news regarding JD Vance.
Go ahead.
I have news regarding JD Vance trip to the UAE. If you have a second, he says.
Tell me about that.
X,
when is that?
It came out about an hour ago. He said, I met with the UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan in Abu Dhabi, where we discussed the memorandum of understanding signed by President Trump with Iran and the effort aimed at ensuring full and safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. In addition to regional stability, I expressed my thanks to the United Arab Emirate leadership for its exceptional support, and I commended its bravery and resilience in the face of the Iranian attacks. I also reaffirmed our commitment to the UAE security and our strong bilateral partnership with it. I feel like that's just total BS because, in my own dictionary, a good, trustworthy relationship is shown with action, not words.
But Wajeeh, it sounds very odd that JD Vance should arrive in Abu Dhabi just a couple of hours after Rubio left.
Marco Rubio.
Because
was
he's
JD
been
with
there and
Rubio?
has gone on to Kuwait. I've not seen any news that JD Vance was on the same trip.
It's almost
No,
like
this
there
is
are
Marco
two
Rubio.
entirely separate administrations.
No,
You meant Marco
Did I say
Rubio
JD
is in Abu
Vance?
Dhabi.
I misspoke then. I say Marco
so it is
Rubio. I
Rubio.
apologize.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Marco Rubio. I apologize.
Okay. Well, while Marco Rubio was in Abu Dhabi, we said President Pezeshkian of Iran was in Pakistan, and to show them how they love them too much. This is a Iran Mirage Airlines airliner that I guess that was left surviving by the U.S., probably full of bugs, being escorted by the entire inventory of the Pakistani Air Force. 4 F-16s and 2 Chinese-built J-7 fighter aircraft as they come to Pakistan. I guess they don't want any, F-16s or F-15s or F-35s appearing out of nowhere in desert camouflage color, intercepting them and shooting them down, which is always a possibility. But Pakistan appears to be
they just
trying
don't
to
trust
play
the
both
Israelis.
sides.
There is no trust. They just don't trust the Israelis. Even the Pakistanis at this point don't trust the Israelis.
I will point something out. There are no weapons on any of those aircraft.
Really?
Yeah, there's no weapons.
So it's just posturing.
For show. Yeah, well,
Okay.
don't you be telling Ben Gavir that. that shit could happen, right? I mean, bad things could happen. Just FYI, Iran launched one of the largest oil platforms in the world this week. Like, oh yeah, look, what is that? $24 billion buys you a new oil platform being put out of there. And it is one of the largest drilling rigs in the world. It says only 8 countries are capable of building that offshore platform, the Rashadat P-form platform, heaviest oil platform ever built by Iran. Okay, this is weird.
Malcolm, just a point on Rubio's tour of the Gulf countries, because a lot of statements are coming out, and Rubio is saying all that about America is committed to your security and all that nonsense there. The thing for our viewers to watch out for is the fact that the Gulf countries are actually talking about having a summit with Iran to have some kind of an accommodation. So that's what the local diplomacy is working on now, because as Wajeeh and I spoke about yesterday, all these countries distrust the Trump administration and don't think that the U.S. is committed to their security. So they're working at new arrangements, whatever Marco Rubio is saying there on the tarmac. So the diplomacy in the region is about a summit with Iran.
Mm-hmm. What would ever give those countries the feeling that the United States is not looking out for them or their interest?
What would?
By the way, I found that
drones.
I found that statement from Forest News. Forest News Agency sources indicate that Pakistan currently plays no significant role in mediating these negotiations, and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's statements are primarily aimed at amplifying the country's intermediary role, whereas Qatar is currently playing the most effective part in this regard. Qatar puts up money. Pakistan has been, I think, mealy-mouthing, half telling
the truth, half telling lies to Donald Trump. And Trump believes every word out of Pakistan's mouth. These are the guys who are going to deliver the coffee cup that says camel on the side. The Qataris will deliver some old camel. Right? You can trust them. This is what's going on. All right. In other news, we got to just keep watching the MOU thing every day. It's changing, but no weapons inspectors. Do not believe Donald Trump. At this point, Iran has the yay or the nay on this particular subject.
And
I have another one
on the
about
Iranian missiles either.
Nope. No. They need missiles. It's
That
not
was what
fair
he
that
said
they don't
last
have
week,
missiles
but
when the
then
other
it comes out that they've agreed to not resupply with missiles, which is bullshit.
Well, not only is the U.S. intelligence community undergoing a purge right now, in the book with John Radcliffe, the director of the CIA, Trump, when he got nominated him and he got endorsed by the Senate, the first thing Trump said was, ready? About the CIA, gut it. As if Donald Trump didn't prove to us that he is an actual Russian asset. This takes the cake. But the State Department said, I can do better than that. Hold my beer. State Department has eliminated in 1 year 2,000 diplomats. One half of the Mideast has ambassadors with no intention of putting ambassadors in place. Right? Because Donald Trump is the ambassador as far as they're concerned. Everyone just follows his policy. All 6 of the Iran nuclear experts who took part in negotiating the JCPOA have been fired. They don't want them back because what do they know? They only know what Iran has. Right? Get rid of those guys. I'm buying whatever Musharraf said or Sharif of Pakistan says must be true. Okay. The next major firing comes from the Pentagon. The Pentagon fired General Donahue. General Donahue is a soldier's soldier. This guy was an infantry officer, then went to Special Forces, then went and became a Ranger, then went to Delta Force, then became the commander of Delta Force. Okay? Then became the commander of Central Command. What does he know about war? This guy's got bodies under his name tag, right? He got fired today by Pete Hegseth. Why? Because he was the last man on an airplane leaving Afghanistan. That's his role in history. And he said he wouldn't allow anyone else to be there unless he was the last one on. He stepped on that airplane, did the evacuation, largest non-combatant evacuation in American history, done with 13 casualties. And I had some idiot come up to me this morning on my Twitter feed and was like, "You guys we lost 13 people there." I got into a big incident with MSNBC because the day that those 13 Marines were lost, I had heard a news report that it was only 3. And I had reminded everybody, oh, by the way, it wasn't 3 Marines, it was 3 Afghans. They hadn't started counting up how many people were killed. People forget that there were over 100 Afghans killed. Just, they don't count. There were only 13 U.S. Marines, and that's all that matters. 2,400 American servicemen and women died in Afghanistan before those 13 Marines died. And as far as Republicans and MAGA are concerned, they don't care about those dead. The dead, you said yesterday, Jacob, I heard while I was driving, that the Danes have the highest number of deaths in Afghanistan per capita. How many people was that?
How many is it in total? I don't want to give you a wrong number, so I'll pass on that. But we have the highest number per capita. I can't remember the exact figure, unfortunately.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
I got it. It's 44.
Yeah.
44. But considering that you are the size of Albany, Okay. I mean, there's how many
5
Danes?
million.
5 million Danes?
Yeah, but 6 almost now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's 43 million Black Americans, just African Americans alone. All right. There's 8 of us for every one of you. And we're a country of 340 million. So extrapolated, that would be something like 5,000 US soldiers. So it's just insane that, that Trump is purging the Pentagon of that guy might have been the top warfighter we had, the top warfighter. And they got rid of him because, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Next president needs to reinstate every officer fired by Trump with back pay and a next step promotion. Fuck you, put them all back, and then those officers will go back through the Pentagon and find out who was really fucking being a loyalist and who was being a loyalist to the Constitution. So that's crazy. They fired our top guy. And needless to say, the regular Fox News is like, oh, he's the best. He worked for Biden. You're going to fire everyone in the armed forces who was there when Biden was there? This is insanity. It's literally fucking Hitler in the last hours demanding a counterattack by 10 divisions that ceased to exist a year earlier. This man's nuts. Holy shit. Last story, then we'll go to questions. Oh, and Jacob, you got to figure out what the fuck is going on with Mark Rutte. He is in like full Trump blowjob mode over there selling NATO out. Selling them out. There's a new article today about him.
It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. But, every few months he goes to the U.S. and he pops up on U.S. TV shows, and it's a disaster.
I'd have you would think that the Europeans would hit a wall with him and say, "Hey, you got to go," But and send in who is it? The president of the president of the Czech Republic, who was the former general. Okay, that guy's a badass. That guy went to Ukraine. He went straight to the zero line. He was like, "Oh, I'm not going to Kyiv. I'm going to see where the shooting is." He'd be like, "How's the shooting going, boys?" I mean, that guy is a hard ass. That guy should be the supreme allied. And he was in charge of NATO. Wasn't he deputy commander of
I think he
NATO?
Was. I
deputy commander of all NATO combat forces. It's like, maybe he should be the top diplomat in chief for NATO rather than Mark Rutte, who's out there, pretending like NATO is part of the United Nations and trying to appease Trump left, right, and center.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Where's he from? What country?
He's Dutch. I haven't seen his statements in the U.S. This time around, but I can almost predict what they're going to be like. Just licking Trump's ass big time.
Yep. So there was a news report yesterday that came out that the pilot of the F-15 Strike Eagle that was shot down in Iran, I'll read you my friend Mike Netters, U.S. fighter pilot who was rescued after his jet was downed over Iran during the war, reportedly seeing multiple Iranian drones moving in a synchronized formation that resembled a jellyfish before his plane was shot down, which means, if true, Tehran possesses alarming advanced capabilities. This is called many-to-one meshed networking, where one drone operator controls multiple craft. You've actually seen this. I'm going to show you a video of this. If any of you have seen these firework displays, or that where they put up giant pictures at programs where they'll put up a photo of like, T-Rex or something moving, giant. It's actually a wall of like 500 to 1,000 drones that are putting up lights, and those lights synchronize to create an image in the sky.
Yeah.
And let me grab a photograph of that. Bop, 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 bop. And it is not impossible for a nation to do it. It's just that we never believed that Iran would do it and that Iran has that capability. And I don't understand why people wouldn't believe this. Oh, you know what? I say this once before, I'll say it again. You killed an 89-year-old man who would have thought, oh, that I don't care about that. You put in a 58-year-old man who goes, fucking do anything that puts that harms them. And the guys who are below him now are in their 40s, and their subordinates are in their 20s and 30s. And they'd be like, hey, why don't we put up 500 synchronized drones with a little plastic explosive on each one, and we literally create a wall, as this F-15 pilot said it, a flying minefield of drones.
Yeah.
And we don't know what shot that aircraft down. I believe that the F-15, I'm going to go get the video of the F-15 shoot down. But it looked like it was a heat-seeking missile that may have struck it from the rear. Because I saw the video imagery. This is actually, it's part of this right here. On the top, it was being tracked by a thermal seeker, which is here, right? This is the camera work that they use for the thermal seeker on a surface-to-air missile that hit the F-35. But when I first saw it, the tail explodes. So that's a sign of an indicator of a missile. But it could also be the sign of an indicator of objects going through the engine and blowing up. And then we saw 2 clean ejections come out of it before it tumbled over and broke up. It's possible that he flew into the minefield of drones. I don't know. All I know is that this ain't good, because as I told some friends of mine yesterday who were in the Gulf states, and I told Mario Nawafal's show, Iran will not be attacking us the next time with what we saw this time. They're going to say, what's the most advanced thing that's in this planet? And some 23-year-old kid at Mashhad University is going to come up and go, you know, we can put up minefields of drones everywhere. We could fly drones, you know, and he's like, well, where did you learn all this? He goes, oh, I watch Ukrainian army videos. Right?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, flamingo style drones, right, that can think, that go up, down, left, right, center, are flying all over the Gulf states, right? Not Shaheeds flying straight lines, but thinking autonomous weapon systems, like the loitering munition that shot down the Apache helicopter. The thing hovers for 4 hours. It flies circles, and its nozzle looks for flying things, or the drone operator will see it, and then it will automatically attack. We are so unprepared. You know why? I'm going to be straight up. You guys are going to hear this every time you listen to Black Man Spy. Racism. These guys don't think that those people are smart enough or adaptive enough. And they are very smart. They are very adaptive. I have never been surprised by the Iranians. But this wall of drones surprises me a little, because it means they adapted in 4 months. And they probably just bought, I shit you not, they bought a Chinese drone kit off of Temu that allowed 500 drones to fly together to make pictures of, you know, it was probably for the funeral of Ali Khamenei, right? They were going to put his picture up on drones. And some wise kid goes, hey, what if we put just a little bit of plastic explosive on each of them and create a fucking wall that Israeli and American aircraft would have to fly through? And his boss, who is not in his 60s or 70s, was like, hells yeah, let's do that. Oh, wallah, Wajeeh.
Here's an additional thing I'd like to point out. You mentioned Timo and Chinese equipment. The Iranians don't mind doing things for cheap if it achieves the goal. But the United States has an Achilles heel. Everything somehow, somewhere, some reason has to go through a private company that charges 100% more than anything. So
it's got to be, if it's not $1 billion, they don't like it.
Exactly. So I'm seeing these younger generation of younger soldiers in the US training on those new drones. And all I could hear them complain about is this drone is not nice enough. Oh, this is just a prototype, and we have a nicer one that's coming. And all they're doing is they're going to take this drone and explode it somewhere else. And for the Iranians, they understand this because they have dealt with suicide attackers for a long time. They have helped with people becoming suicide attackers for a long time. They understand the value of life, understand that it's priceless. So when they came to drones, the cheaper the better. If it achieves this goal, first of all, I have a bad economy. Second of all, I just need to achieve my goal. Third of all, if it works, then awesome. I don't fix it. So they just got it for cheap and they worked with it, and they're bringing down what multi. How much is the F-35?
Like, I don't know, almost $100 million.
They're taking them down with what, a $10,000 drone.
Yeah, or surface-to-air missile that you thought, oh, we're flying too high for them. Bitches, they got Chinese buyers. They got people will sell them. And until remember that F-35 took severe damage, right? And everybody was like, whoa, you can't see an F-35. Actually, you can see it if it's daytime. And if it's nighttime, it is a flying hot object. So thermal can see it. It's only invisible to the radars you destroyed. So why are you even flying F-35s over Iran? You're flying them to fucking test the systems. You could have done that entire war with F-18s and F-15 Eagles because there's no radar to detect it. You destroyed every radar in Iran. Same reason why we fired those joint strike missiles. They were designed to get through the deepest penetrations of Russia and Chinese radars. But we shot them because it's cool. Oh my God. So anyway, Iran has new tech. And let me tell you, they're gonna take that $1 billion. They're gonna take $1 billion of them. They're gonna be like, hey, go out there and you kids come up with some cool shit. And we're gonna be surprised next time.
Oh, they're going to send those kids to China. They're going to send those kids to Iran, to Russia to get trained, and they're going to come back with more and better experience. Another thing I wanted to add about the U.S. Infrastructure. When I was a student at university, we had diplomatic dinners where we had former U.S. diplomats and former national advisors come and talk to us. And several of them, and maybe you also know about this, have reaffirmed that Russia's strategy to defeat the United States, even since the Cold War, is by bankrupting the U.S. military infrastructure by having them overspend and over the Russians. Like, this is not I saying, this is several former national advisors coming to us and telling us that over and over again. And I'm looking at what's going on. It's no longer just Russia's doing that. China's doing that. Iran is doing that. Multiple countries are doing that. They have understood that America has an Achilles heel and it's overspending in the military.
I don't think that they have the this isn't like the Soviet Union where they can outspend us and force us to outspend ourselves. But the utter incompetence of this administration is insane. They're incompetent. They hemorrhage. They spend money like not even drunken sailors. Because I've seen drunken sailors my whole life. They will hoard their money, right? They spend money like they're at a strip club. All right.
But it's because they have too big egos. They think they own the world and they can learn nothing from the Ukrainians because the Ukrainians are losers and suckers. But they are not. The Ukrainians have developed all this stuff at low cost and know how to handle it. And then the US want to do their own expensive, flashy stuff. But it's going to be a problem.
I have a drone that I bought from Ukraine that costs $300. $300, and it is just as capable. I have 2 other training drones that when we have guys who are joining the Legion, they come over here and they train and go through. We have a weapons school near us and everything. But these drones are cheap.
And it's the same drone everybody flies. Now, the interceptor drones are expensive, but they train on styrofoam versions of that drone. So you can crash them and put them back together and put them up in the air.
Yeah.
The U.S. drone, Wajeeh is right. U.S. soldiers want cool things because they promise cool things. Give us $1 billion and we'll develop a drone for you. You mean that $300 drone that I can buy off of a Ukrainian website that's made by an independent manufacturer? They're building 1 million of those a year. 1 million. And trust me, I'm sure we haven't heard about it yet, but the Ukrainians have meshed drones that are out there that will soon be attacking if they're not, like fucking Terminators, the H&Ks, right? The hunter killers from Terminator, going down by swarm and just killing and blasting everything. So, it's mind-boggling that the United States is in this circumstance. I have one question that we're going to stop because I have to go off to do Stephanie Miller radio show. And then I have one of the Black Man Spy podcasts. We're finally back on that schedule. I think I'm interviewing Miles Taylor today. But
Nice.
Lives by the Lake says, I don't normally listen to other podcasts, but today on MTN, leaked audio came out indicating that Trump heads a transnational right-wing movement that is looking to topple any Democratic or left-leaning governments in Latin America. Latin America is calling it Honduras Gate. Apparently, the audio has conversations of what they want to do about eventually pincering Mexico from the north and the south. This actually can become plausible when you consider he pardoned the president of Honduras. You know, the guy who smuggled in 50 tons of cocaine, who said himself, I want to make sure that there's enough cocaine for every American. That guy, he pardoned him, right? He gave Argentinian president $40 billion, did the kidnapping of Maduro, talking of invading Cuba, operations in Ecuador, and now pulling the diplomats. This interview with a woman who is covering this all has leaked audios as well. You guys go to the Substack chat. You can go look at that. I'm going to take a look at it too. Because when this dies down and we start shifting region to region on the Black Man Spy podcast, like good intelligence officers, we know that a lot of this shit is interconnected. None of this is standing alone. I believe that they actually do have a strategy for this. Steve Bannon talked about it. Alexander Dugin, Putin's philosopher, talked about it. And Trump himself made it clear that he wanted to seize oil from just about everywhere.
And it's more or less in the national security strategy anyway.
Yeah. Well, they're just not saying it out loud. We're going to topple government and shit.
But between the lines,
Yeah. Crazy. Wow. What's not working? Anyway, well, thank you for watching this episode of Black Man Spy. I am still answering questions on the question chat. Yes, Wajeeh.
No, I'm just
saying
hello. Peace sign.
Oh, peace sign. Yo, what's up?
Important issue we left out is the fact that Iran and Oman put out a joint statement saying that they're working on a new regime for the Strait of Hormuz that will also entail service fees. That is what I've been talking about, security fees, environmental fees, all that bullshit.
We discussed that yesterday, that they would be meeting, and they apparently have met. Oh, man, Trump's going to be big. Trump's going to be big, man. Oh, did I mention? We didn't. We failed to mention. Trump made a statement on Friday, via Lindsey Graham, that the United States, if this fails, will seize the Strait of Hormuz and that America will start charging fees. We've heard Trump say that a couple of times.
Good luck.
Lindsey Graham, hold on. Before we go, people, y'all got to see this madness in a shoebox. These people are high. They're high on their own supply, where they believe that they have the power to just seize countries. And, it's almost like they sit around with each other and they go, yeah, we're going to do this. And the other guy goes, yeah, and we're going to do that. And they be like, yeah, we're going to get away with this. Here it is right here. Here's Lady Lindsay. These guys are drug addicts. They've got to be. There's no reality intruding in any of these statements. This is from Pod Save America. Let me give them their due on their audio. Let me turn the audio back on. I don't even believe it. If this deal fails, well, madam, what do you intend to do?
President Trump is going to take the Strait of Hormuz over by force. The United States will control the Strait of Hormuz. We'll charge a fee for all those who go through to pay for the operation. And if Iran contests control of the Strait of Hormuz by the United States, we'll obliterate them. I would not support them.
You and what army?
Good
luck,
Lady Lindsay.
What army intends to do this? They live in a drug-filled world where the 8 islands in the Strait of Hormuz, which always drives me crazy because the next thing somebody says is, yeah, we're going to take Karg Island, which is 500 miles from the Strait of Hormuz, right? That's like saying, yeah, I'm going to take over Manhattan, and you're in North Carolina looking for Manhattan. I mean, these people are on drugs. Lindsey Graham saying this, and in the same breath going, the entire U.S. economy is about to collapse. They must really, there's a script out there that amongst themselves, they must say this. And Iran sits back and goes, really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Oman, ready to sign this agreement? Yeah. We're charging fees now. We're charging fees now. Oman's our buddy. No, they get 80 billion. We get 80 billion.
We're not charging multi-pass. We're charging service fees.
Yep. Yeah, it's not. Well, the service fees go on your multi-pass because one of the passes is your environmental fee. The other pass is your Ali Khamenei Children's Charity fee. The third is your mandatory zakat, or if you're a Christian or a Jew, what's the payment they have to make? For Christians and Jews.
Oh, yes.
It's a jizya. Your jizya.
Fidya. Jizya.
Jizya is your. We're not Muslims and tax free, but here's a little something because we're Christians and Jews tax, right? And it's just all of it. Buddhists got to pay it too. Anyone who's not a Muslim has to pay a jizya. So these guys, I have no idea what's going on, people. All I can do is report to you how, if this episode makes you think this is madness, you are correct. You are absolutely right of what you have. Your assessment based on the intelligence we deliver to you is correct. So that's as far as you can go. Madness.
Yep.
All right. We went over. Right. Hey, guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, you missed it. Come subscribe to YouTube. We're trying to get to 250,000 followers. We're at 175,000 now. Subscribe to Substack if you haven't, and recommend it to your friends. We have, we're at 93,000, trying to get to 100,000. They did a big purge. We found out Substack got rid of a lot of accounts that weren't open. So everybody has lost followers. It's not because the war's over. And please, if you can, become a paid subscriber. It's just $7. Follow us, follow Jacob, follow Wajeeh. Now, Jacob, last word.
Important information. In 45 minutes, in 44 minutes, I'll be hosting John Cipher for a chat about the Kremlin. Wow. What the hell is happening with the Kremlin while the Ukrainians are pounding Russia and isolating Crimea, etc., etc. So that is in 44 minutes.
How'd you get John Cipher?
I met John Cipher in Kyiv. Anyway, it's on in 44 minutes, and it's free for all. It's open to everyone. I'll have a Q&A for paid subscribers immediately afterwards. So if you want to join that, become a paid subscriber. And I saw some people talking about they had problems becoming a paid subscriber. if that persists, write to me, or you can search becoming a paid subscriber. How do I become a paid subscriber on Substack? There is, information of how to do it, and it works for most people. So,
if you don't mind me, if you want to become a paid subscriber and you're using your phone, it will take you outside of Stack and it will take you to a separate page. You're gonna have to follow that page and follow the direction on that. Jacob, I heard that you have a collab coming up with Piotr. Is that right?
Yeah, I think next week we were both busy, so we didn't set it up yet. But I think next week.
Who's this? Piotr Kurzin?
Yes, yeah, you know Piotr.
I think I'm on with him this afternoon.
Okay.
I've been blowing him off. I met him in London. We had drinks together in London. He's a great guy.
Huh.
Crazy.
He's a cool guy.
Okay, one last
Nice
thing
guy.
I have in administration. I have one last thing. We are doing a fundraiser for a Ukrainian group called Cars for UA. I will be launching a Substack Live with one of the representatives of Cars for UA. We are trying to supply a vehicle to my team, Team Jedi. And ready for this? I believe there are 8 different units that are trying to get cars. We are selling Black Man Spy patches on this, supporting Team Jedi. All right. So I will get you that link and we will have that Substack. I'm trying to get Jonathan Fink to come on to that. If I had known John Cipher was lying around, John's on the board of the Spy Museum, so I've met him before. And we want to get that because we need to raise money for these vehicles to get cars in Ukraine. Also, I tried to do a GoFundMe to buy laptops for a Ukrainian army interceptor team. If any of you would like to donate to that, GoFundMe canceled it immediately. They do not fund anything related to conflicts. So if any of you would like to donate to this intercept team, they're trying to buy 2 laptops. That's like $4,000. So I'm going to be putting that in the Substack chat. The email address that you can PayPal to that individual team. And I will have it up for about 2 or 3 days. And as long as he says, hey, we've reached our goal, boom, I will cancel it and you guys can stop donating to him. But we can't do it through GoFundMe. We can't do it through any of the other vehicles, unfortunately. And, but he has great videos of him training 25 Ukrainian interceptors. The guy's from Luxembourg. He was in my first team when I was in the International Legion. And they are intercepting. He has 5 Shaheed kills. He's an ace. So we're going to be doing that. All right, guys. Cash App. I don't know about Cash App. Thanks for coming to today's show. We love you. We miss you. Thank you guys for all your condolences for my cousin yesterday. He was a mess. He couldn't even walk. And there's nothing worse than a guy and his, losing his wife, who they've been together 30 years and she was 55, I think. So it's horrible. Okay, thank you for coming. We will see you tomorrow. Wajeeh, Jacob, are you guys online tomorrow?
Yes.
And go Canada tonight. Go Canada.
Go Canada. Okay.
And the Qataris took it with good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Good game.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
See you
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.